Last week, during my morning walk, I shared the sidewalk with literally thousands of fishing worms that were dead. For those of you who are more refined, I'll call them earthworms, but to me they've always been fishing worms. And I've always been curious as to why. Why are all of these fishing worms or earthworms on this concrete, lying there dead? And what caused that? And I know there's more important matters to discuss, but I do want to suggest to you that many children's books have been written on just exactly this subject. It's a question kids ask. Well, I'm a 78-year-old kid. Actually, few of the 4,400 species of earthworms do this. It's very unique to a very small subset of all of the earthworms in the world. There's been several theories put out about it, though. One, some think that they escape the ground to avoid drowning. Now, that's a mistaken view, in my opinion, and by a lot of other people, because earthworms, they don't have lungs, and they actually acquire their oxygen through their skin. Their skin must be moist, and they can actually survive. It's proven that they can survive several days in just pure water. So I don't think drowning is the reason. As long as you keep them moist, they can breathe. And some think it's because they can migrate more quickly. I don't know why they're trying to migrate. Maybe they're trying to get to fresher soil or something like that. But I would suspect that that's probably a theory that's going to be awfully difficult to prove. Others, though, feel that it's caused by the sound of the rain, and they feel like the earthworm believes that moles are coming. Moles are coming to one of their natural enemies. They're coming to eat them. But I don't know about that. But I have a favorite theory as to why I'm walking with the dried up earthworms. And that is, they come out of the ground because they can. Now, I like this because it describes what we are like. Man's ways are not God's ways, but we have free will. And because we can, we do things that's not always in God's will. There's a way that seems right to man, but in the end it leads to death. Seems kind of appropriate. Dead earthworms, and it may be I don't know. Anyway, I know it's a stretch, but it's a stretch. There are so many examples of mankind doing what they want without regard for God's wishes. The treatment of the Moabites that Patrick spoke of at the last lesson he just taught is man's way of dealing with the Moabites and not God's way. And if you missed that, go back to last Sunday's lesson, and it was well done, and I enjoyed that. King David was horrible in his behavior, and he did it because he can. He's the king. He can do it. Doesn't mean it's God's way, but he was a horrible man, and he has done several things. The Pharisees, in their desire to see Jesus put to death, because they believed that they were in the right. If they can, they will. They're going to do what they can to put Jesus to death. But I want you to consider one person, Judas. Judas. I love the way Dallas Jenkins in the series The Chosen presents Judas. He is a sincere apostle of Jesus. He was called by Jesus like the others, but he just has a strong way of seeing his way over God's way. He wants, like for example, they present him as trying to change the way they sell the olive oil to have more money. And he's always trying to he's concerned, he's the treasurer, remember, and he was always trying to come up with ways to create more money, even though that wasn't in the will of the things to be. But anyway, I don't think Judas was doing anything more than having a strong opinion about what should be done by Jesus and his messiahship. And I think that's what motivated Judas. When Jesus kept going in his intent to have his kingdom not of this earth, Judas thought, I'm going to do some stuff to change that. I'm going to fix things. Judas, why would you do such a thing? Because I can. Because I can. I have waited for the Messiah all my life, and now it's plain to me that, Jesus, you need to do this my way. The 30 pieces of silver, in my opinion, was just the icing on the cake. Judas was trying to thwart the will of Jesus, to force his hand, to make him set up the earthly kingdom. Judas was so shocked by the outcome of his activities that, you remember, he hanged himself. He was so distraught that he caused Jesus' death, and that things didn't go his way, that he put himself to death. It's a horrible manner, horrible way to die, but yet he hanged himself. Are we like the earthworms? Are we like the earthworms? Because we can? In Luke chapter 6, verse 46 to 49, I think there's an appropriate saying. Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not do what I say? As for everyone who comes to me and hears my words and puts them into practice, I will show you what they are like. They are like a man building a house who dug deep down and laid the foundation on rock. And when a flood came, the torrent struck, the house could not be shaken, because it was well built. But the one who hears my words and does not put them into practice is like a man who built a house on the ground without a foundation. The moment the torrent struck that house, it collapsed, and its destruction was complete. Such is the lesson from the earthworms. Do God's will. Listen to Him. Don't do something just because you can. God bless you.